morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, yesterday was Monday. Wow, I'm already turned around. I'm telling you, the holidays have caused me such a lag because, during that 2 weeks, there's so much going on, or week, I'm sorry, that you don't know if you're coming or going. So I'm getting back to the speed of things. Let's see who is in here, and I want to hear how everybody's doing. Superior Dreams, first one in. Good morning. Hello, Deb. Hello, Diana. Joanne, good morning. Katie Bird, how are you, my friend? Hey, Dodging Bullets. Hello, Aggie. Hello, Tammy. Let me see. And I say it every day. I mean it every day. If I miss somebody, I apologize. Sarah, good morning. Sarah, she said, good morning. The best news, my dad is recovering, no longer drug-induced coma. Wow. I had no idea, Sarah. I'm glad he's doing better. That's awful. Cindy, good morning. Good morning. Molly, good morning. Molly, I don't know if that's true. I don't know what in the world that is, but okay. Barbie, good morning. Good morning, everybody. The real Sharon, good morning. Well, I hope everyone is having a good start to their week and a good day. Good morning, Matrix. Lige 50, good morning. Dara Lee, good morning, everyone. Yep, I hope you all have a wonderful day too. Yep, I love it when you guys tune in, whether you can chat or you're just listening or you catch up later. It's all good. It's all good. Nubian Max, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Sweet Sativa, good morning. Well, I hope everyone, like I said, is doing good and ready for the show. Let's catch up with Kevin B., see how his evening went. And as you see the thumbnail Kat made, instead of 101 Dalmatians, it's 101 accusations. I love the thumbnail Kat made. It's actually cracks me up. So we're going to highlight a few of his accusations. Then we're going to do kind of a back and forth between what Dudley said and Don's rebuttal. And you guys, as always, will be the judge because we're not here to force or give anyone our opinion. We just like to discuss with you. So let's bring up Kevin B. and see how his Monday went. Hello, Kevin.
Good morning, Brooks. Good morning, everybody in YouTube land.
Yes, I love it in YouTube land.
My evening and morning went great, actually. It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
About had enough of this weather.
It's going to be close to 60 today, but it's a little dreary outside, but it's going to get cold again on Thursday.
Well, that's like summer, 60.
Yeah, for you, yeah.
Yeah, it would be, man. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see 50. I'd like to see 40.
Well, you're kind of in the
yesterday morning
tundra up there, my friend.
Yeah, yesterday morning it was 1 degree. Oh.
No, can't do it. Sorry, nope.
No. This is, in Michigan, this is the coldest it gets. I mean, this month and maybe the first week of February, but then we don't get a bunch of that below zero crap anymore. Unless
so what's the coldest month? Is it January or February?
I'm going to have to say January.
We own a fix said it's freezing in Pennsylvania. I saw that on the news this morning. I think it was I-95 going into D.C. People were stuck on I-95. I want to say for like 12 hours. They had no food, no water. Cars were running out of gas. Absolutely crazy. Crazy. Julie, thank you for being a new member. Thank you.
That is crazy. I can't imagine sitting there until you run out of gas.
Yeah, no food, no water, no blanket to keep you warm. And there must have
Ugh.
been an accident or something, but I mean, they were at a standstill for hours. Did you watch any football last night?
Yes, I did. I did not watch the rest of the game, but yes, I watched the Browns and the Steelers.
Okay. Oh, I did see something about that. Yeah, I went to bed early. I missed the game, but I knew you would see it.
Hmm.
What
I
did you?
did when I went to bed. Pittsburgh was winning. So
Oh, okay.
is Roethlisberger retiring this year?
That's kind of what they're hinting around to on the Today Show I was watching. What did you think
Look at
about the whole?
Antonio Brown.
I love that. If this job was a person. Yeah, what'd you make of him streaking down the field because he was mad?
What's wrong with that dude? He stayed he stayed with Tom Brady for a while when he was going through a bunch of crap with the
Hmm.
Steelers. Yeah, I don't. What is wrong with him? I don't know. I think this man. I don't know. I think he's getting crazy.
Sarah said,
He.
I'm not making excuses, but his ankle was hurt. Antonio had a hurt ankle, or who are you talking about, Sarah? Because I was wondering what caused all this. I didn't watch the game. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's unbelievable. I bet he got a stiff fine for doing that.
I think he's not worried about it because he don't have a job no more. And like Mrs. Fletcher said, I thought that shit was funny AF. Me too. I about pissed myself when I
Hmm.
saw it, especially when the memes started coming out. And this is my favorite one. If
I
F
wonder
this
what
job
Roger Goodell
was,
thought.
I don't know. If F this job was a person. Yeah, like Radio Gaga said, he wasn't hurting us. He was running around the field shirtless.
I wonder what. Yeah, I wonder what old Roger Goodell thinks of him.
I have a feeling not much today. I bet he's made a few phone calls to his agent, though. Jennifer said, I love this chat. You guys are so kind and make me feel so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We have the best chat on YouTube. The best chat on YouTube. And I agree with you, Scorpion. He is a very unthankful person. He's an elite athlete with a super great job. And this was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to take that down. So, yeah, I meant to bring that up yesterday, but I got off track. So, today's a new day, and we got a big show prepared. And, like I said, as always, you guys are in charge and let us know what you think. Because, as we said, this is about all of Dawn's accusations. And I'm going to go through
Yeah.
just a few off the top of my head. And if I forget any, because there's a lot, please let me know. Now, I will say this. I was reading some stuff yesterday in Tennessee. Now, mind you, Dudley lives in Virginia. But anyway, the accusation was made in Tennessee. When you make a false accusation against someone, um, it can be a stiff penalty. It can be a $2,500 fine, a misdemeanor. I mean, none of that's really going to make Don shake in his boots. But at least we know that. You know what I mean? And I don't know if anyone's going to go forward with that. I don't know. It was something to actually think about, though, if you know what I mean. So we've had the cartel, the bikers. He has spoke about meth heads a lot. His stepsisters, Chris McDonough, all the sex offenders in the area. He mentioned Ronnie Lawson one time, and I didn't know what he was getting at. Um,
Hunter.
Hunter, Allie. He's mentioned Jody Sue. He was on another panel one night. And he said something about at this point it could be zombies. Who am I missing? Because there's been a lot. He's had more accusations than Candace has had stories about what really happened on June 15th.
Yeah, he's full of shit. More than a Christmas turkey.
There you go.
Yeah. He
Sarah. has a very good point. Sarah said it's never Candace or Grandis. Nope.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
He blamed Josh. I didn't know that he made Josh. Yeah, Scorpion, you're right. About 46 lies now. Yeah. He has accused a lot of people. What was your favorite accusation, Kevin? Because I know even though we're talking about a very, very dark subject, we have to make light of the stupid stuff they throw out there.
Yeah, mine is Hunter on the bike. That's got to be the most classic one.
That was good. We did
Yeah.
get a kick out of Allie. At one point, he said it could be Allie, and he explained the dog trail. And I'm not body shaming. I'm not talking about weight. I'm just talking about how in the hell would she get up and down that hill? I couldn't do it, and I'm not that out of shape.
Well, Allie ain't going up that hill.
No.
When she has to use a freaking cart at Walmart.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, Dawn on a
we
bike.
We saw that one already. Her in the parking lot in a cart.
Yep. So I'm going to say this. If I was anywhere in their circle, and what we've heard from the TBI and Hawkins County is no one's ruled out, everyone's still a suspect. So if you have ever been interviewed by law enforcement or you're anywhere in their circle, if your name's ever been brought up, I would be calling law enforcement as often as I can to say, what can I do to make sure I'm 100% cleared? And this goes for you too, Don and Candace and Grandis. So you can make a public announcement that I am of no interest to you. David, Jackie, Jody, all of you. You should be doing everything you can to make sure you are of no interest to them, because they are saying everyone is still a suspect. That's a very vague term to me. It's only got to be people that they know.
Yeah, everyone is still a suspect. The everyone, in my opinion, is Don, Candace, and Grandis. That's everyone right there. That's more than a couple. That's more than one. That's a few. That's everyone.
It's exactly what I'm thinking. I don't think it's the grand scheme of things like they keep trying to throw out.
Nope.
So, like we said yesterday, we were going to get deeper into this today. So I'm going to go through what Dudley reported over the weekend. And he had a very lengthy conversation. Both him and his wife jumped in. Then we're going to go through Don's rebuttal from last night. Now, we always keep in mind that there's two sides to every story, or three, his, and the truth. So we just sort out what makes sense and what doesn't, right?
Yup.
So Dudley said that at work, Don would do things. Now, I believe they worked together. When he worked for Don, it was basically like 2 or 3 weeks. He knew him from 7 years before, and Dudley, I don't know if he quit the job or if Dudley got fired. I don't know what happened there, but he did work for, he did work for, I believe, the same company 7 years prior. Okay. We'll get to that in a minute, but as far as his employment with Dawn, it was 2 or 3 weeks. Dawn would do things to mess him up. He would even give him the wrong locations to go to. Now, would Dawn do that?
Yeah, Don do anything. He's capable of anything, in my opinion.
You know it, brother. You know it. Thank you, Winona, new member. He said he is used to getting paid by the job, but Don gets paid by the hour. So Don would drag out jobs to get more money. while Dudley was knocking him out. So he's trying to get his job done as fast as possible to get to the next job. Whereas Don is dragging it out because he gets paid by the hour, and that's how he wanted to do it. Do you see Don manipulating anybody for money?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. I could see Don doing that.
Well, and he also mentioned that, Don was basically hiding out from CPS one day. That he was not going to go home because he knew CPS was going to be there. Now, what dad patrol wouldn't want to take care of that and grab the bull by the horns and make sure everything's okay at home, and that there's no danger of losing your children? And
well, we all know Don likes. Yeah, we all know Don likes to hide in sheds and stuff. He's a sneaky. Yeah, he likes to hide like a cockroach.
So Dudley talked about his temper. He said that Don would scream and yell at him and try to make him look bad. He did fire him on Monday, which was June 14th, the day before Summer went missing. During that day, he said Don was on the toilet. I don't know if he was using the toilet or just sitting on it, because they're in a construction site. And that Don was looking at his phone like he had just gotten really, really bad news.
Isn't it awful fishy? I just thought of something. Isn't it awful fishy that Don's employee gets fired on the day Summer disappears?
The day before.
Yeah, why is that? You wonder.
I think what chat's saying is that it looks like he was trying to set Dudley up for the fall. Let's talk about that. Dudley did talk about the conditions at their house. Basically, they had like scaffolding out in the yard. He calls it a walkboard. I don't know. The kids would play on it. I mean, actively. And he said anything could have happened up there. I mean, Summer could have gotten hurt up there. Dudley said Don would leave for like 20 minutes and he'd come back and he'd be zoom, zoom, zoom all over the place. He said it was obvious what he was doing. He didn't really name the drug, but he would leave and he would come back really hyped up. Real hyped up. So what's going to hype you up real fast? I mean, I don't delve in that world, so I wouldn't know. But
well, it's got to be a stimulant. It's got to be either meth or cocaine. So there's your two choices.
Well, I don't think, yeah.
Or a stimulant of some kind for sure.
Well, I don't think it's a men's daily vitamin.
No, especially it's not a one a day.
Yeah, especially the time when he said it takes about 20 minutes. Dudley did say he was owed $1,800. He received $300. Okay, then Dudley mentions, his own kids and says he would never hurt a child. And if anyone hurt one of his children, there'd be hell to pay. So he's not the one to be effed with. And that's what he's saying. There is no way that he would hurt a child. For one, Don's not worth it. Okay? Dudley did want his money, and he's still mad about that. He's mad about what went down at the job. But to kidnap Summer, it's not like he held her for ransom. Hey, bring me my $1,500, and then I'll let you have your daughter back. He doesn't need Summer.
And you were and and what does Don say? When he was asked that question, what would you do to the person that got Summer gone? What did Don say? Well, he more or less just said, I'd take pity out on the people.
Hope they wouldn't go to jail.
I hope they don't go to jail. And what did Dudley say? I'd be kicking some ass is what Dudley said.
Exactly,
And
my friend. Exactly.
yep. I mean, most parents or dads or whatever, I would think that would be their immediate answer. What would you do to somebody that kidnapped your daughter? You wouldn't want to know what I'd do.
Oh
But,
no.
you
Uh-uh.
know,
Hell no, we'd get this
but to
channel shut
say,
down if
I
I said
hope,
what I would do.
right, but to say, I hope nothing happens, that's just absolutely ridiculous.
You're exactly right. So he mentioned that Don discussed with him one day that he'd been having dreams about going to prison for something bad. Like he dreamt that he came home and the kids hadn't cleaned the house properly, because Candace, we know, doesn't clean. And that he would hit him too hard. And then something was mentioned about Rose. But I mean, I couldn't make out exactly what he said, but I did hear a little snippet of it. So, exactly why would Don be talking to a new employee and tell him about these insane dreams that he was supposedly having?
But freaking conscious talking is what it is,
Mhm.
my opinion.
Yeah, and some
You
people are
know,
saying that Dudley made that up after the fact to look
uh,
more. I just don't think that his mind runs that way, if you know what I mean.
I don't think so either. I don't
Mm,
think that at all.
no,
Don's a big ass liar.
exactly.
He's a liar.
Hmm. Well,
Can't forget that.
he knew something was about to go down, and he knew
Hmm.
who he was setting up. He knew who he was
It's
setting up.
awful fishy. Yep, it is. It's awful fishy that this happens right before Summer goes missing.
Yep, the day before. All right, I got to
Yep.
read this comment real quick. Chase Levitt said, the funny thing is, when you pick apart Donald's first statement about Dudley, it confirms Dudley's statements. Don's drywall mud was bad because it was old, stolen supplies. Yep. He forgets what he has said the last almost 7 months. He tells on himself. He tells on himself. You're exactly right. So Dudley mentions that every time Candace and Grandis would come to the job site, Don and Candace would get into it. He'd tell her a big shut the fuck up, get into it with Grandis and yell at her. Then Dudley makes his own accusation. He says that they're involved with Rose and Summer is with her. Now, I get where he's getting the speculation and how he's putting it together, but the search grid has never been beyond the Beach Creek area. And Rose went missing in Wisconsin. I get the guy is mad, and I just want to address that. If you agree with him, absolutely you're right. I just don't think Summer is anywhere in Wisconsin.
No, and the only thing I can say about that, putting those two together, in my opinion, if there's anything coincidental about Summer and Rose, it's the way. Okay, I'm just going to, just an opinion. It's the way that they haven't been able to find Rose, and maybe Summer was done the same way, and they know you can't find Summer. That's the only two things, in my opinion, that would be uh, suspicious to me,
Mm-hmm.
and it still is they haven't found Rose, they haven't found Summer. Could they both been got gone the same way? Who knows? Maybe anything's possible in this shit show.
No, 100% right. And let me ask you this. Do you think, and we've discussed it on here a million times, that we have some new people in here? Welcome. Please hit that sub button. I noticed a lot of people aren't getting their notifications. Get reminded, we go live 9 o'clock every morning. We actually have 2 shows tomorrow. So hit that sub button and get reminded. So let me ask you this. Do you think Don, Candace, and Grandis were shocked and overwhelmed at the amount of attention that Summer's getting gone garnered.
Yeah, I don't think they expected this big of a fallout. I think they maybe just thought that, well, this is just another little girl, some mountain, whatever, from Tennessee. She got gone, she got lost, and that's the end of the story. I don't think they ever suspected this to blow up the way it has.
Nope. And I think that the example that they were using, that they discussed between the two of them, maybe three of them, I don't know, is that it's been over 10 years since Rose got gone.
Mm-hmm.
There was no media hype. I mean, a lot of us in here follow true crime like it's our job and had never heard of Rose until Summer. And I kind of think that was what they were thinking. It would just go away.
You know what? And you can't see, the thing about this is you can't just disregard Rose. How likely is it two people in the same family just got gone? How often does that happen? Not, I mean, like we've said a million times, the stars had to align. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, it is very fishy that two girls in the same family have gotten gone. I can't ignore that fact.
Without a trace. Without a trace.
Yeah, without a trace.
Do you believe in coincidence? Because I don't.
Not in this case. No, I do not.
Mm-mm.
No.
I mean, lightning does
I don't know.
not
They're just
strike
something.
Twice in the same place. It's one thing if you have just left work and you run into your coworker at the convenience store getting gas, okay? Not out of the realm of possibility. You're talking about two human beings. One is a 5-year-old child that has no means, no transportation, no friends, nothing outside of her house, and both vanish.
Yeah. You can't ignore that fact. That's something that, we've never dove into or anything because it's, I don't know, but it is interesting that both were girls, both in the same family, and both have not been found.
Right.
That is very concerning, in my opinion.
No, Wolfcat, you're right. They didn't vanish. The only parallel.
No, they didn't.
No, the only parallel in both of them is that Grandis was in the area with both of them. She was in Wisconsin and she was in Tennessee.
Now Candace was in, where was Candace when Rose went missing?
Her and Dawn were in Arkansas.
Okay, that's what I thought.
If we're being told the truth, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If. That's a big if.
Yeah. I need a t-shirt that just has nothing but a white t-shirt that just says if. That I can just look down at when I talk about this case.
Grasshoppers have machine guns. Birds wouldn't eat them.
That's right. Vegan Mom said Grandis at the root of both. She lived 5 minutes from where Rose's car was found. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking at some parallels here, right? All right. So Dudley, he has an airtight alibi, which we're not worried about it because he didn't kidnap Summer. He has nothing to do with this. Dawn even admits that Dudley has an airtight alibi, but he says he has an airtight alibi because he's a meth head. How does that make sense?
I bet you Dudley does have an airtight alibi. I guarantee you, and I guarantee you, in my opinion, I guarantee you that law enforcement has already talked to Dudley.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that.
I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah, because Dawn accused him right off the bat.
Exactly.
Within 24 hours of firing that man and Summer getting gone, that was his go-to. That was who he blamed. This seems like a setup to me, guys. This seems like a setup to me.
Mm-hmm.
You thought what, my
This,
friend?
well, this whole thing, was brought forward a while back, with Dudley's car and all that. I'm not even going to mention the color of his car anymore because I don't want this man harassed whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we were done with this, but no, Don has to go right back to this bullshit. Same old Donnie.
Yep, we're recycling our lies. Next week,
Yep,
we're going to be talking about the Mexican cartel and the money he owes them again. All right. So
probably.
his wife, who seems like a really nice lady, she said because her husband works really fast doesn't mean he's a meth head. Then she mentioned,
No.
she's like, he's 200 pounds. Then she said she went with him to the Wells, to Wells Manor once to get her husband's money. Okay. She said Candace's eyes were real dark and the kids were like outside in their underwear. She told her husband, let's just count the money and get out of here. Like she was very uncomfortable. She was very uncomfortable. And she said, Candace looks really mean. I got to
You know
agree.
why she was uncomfortable?
Why?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to butt in. You know why she was uncomfortable? She was staring at evil
Mm-hmm.
right in the
Mm-hmm.
face, looking at Candace. That's an evil woman.
Mm-hmm.
Period. She is. I'm not just making this up. This is a fact. That lady is mean. She is evil.
But she
She's
said the
proved
dark
it time and
eyes.
time again.
But when you tell your husband, now why the hell did he have to go pick his money up from Don? What kind of employer are you,
Yeah,
Don, that you don't know how to
I know
cut a
she.
paycheck and you're making people go to their way to get their own money they worked for? Get real. And there's his wife, Linda, saying, just count the money and let's go. Like she was freaked out. She was freaked out. Then his wife talked about the Amber Alert. And just like we have said, she was upset about the picture because when she saw Summer, she didn't realize it was Summer because she thought Summer was a little boy. She thought Summer was a
I
little
can
boy.
I can see that. Summer from a distance did look like a little boy with her head shaved. She
Yeah.
did. She doesn't have the features of a woman yet. You know what I mean? You can't. Uh, if she had a damn diaper on, she looked like a boy. I don't. Yeah. I don't blame this man's wife. I wouldn't want to hang around there either. No way.
I think I'd have been freaked out too. And I know your wife would have been. She'd have been like, yeah, get your
Oh
money, run,
yeah.
and get a new job.
My wife wouldn't have even went over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that lady probably said, "Oh, look at this. This is." You know how when sometimes you look at somebody and they just all of a sudden your spidey senses go off?
Yeah.
That's probably what this lady did when she looked at Candace. Her spidey senses were flipping out.
Absolutely crazy. And I mean, and she has no reason to lie. He has no reason to
Nope.
lie. Then they're just like, mm-mm. She was like, get your money and go. And trust me, women remember shit like that. Okay. Women remember things like that. Women are real good at saying, I remember when we went to get my husband's money. Okay. So again, she was talking about the Amber Alert and how she was upset, as all of us were, that here we have an Amber Alert that doesn't have a current picture. The Amber Alert's weird anyway, because it doesn't mention who she could possibly be with. It doesn't mention a possible car she could be in, which we've heard about other vehicles since. I mean, that's another show. But why would you not let there's an Amber Alert, which I don't think these two anticipated. I don't think they had done enough homework. Were they not cognitive enough that night to say, oh no, she's got really short hair now. You need this picture. But no, you gave them one with a little bobbed haircut down to her chin. They knew damn good and well that's not what she looked like.
I want to know why can't. Hey, I don't mean to change. I hope I'm not changing the subject here with this.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll get reamed for it.
Oh,
I want to
shit.
know what Candace. I want to know what Candace was doing. on social media 20 minutes after Summer was gone.
Well, we don't know exactly when Summer got gone. I want to know why she was on
Yeah, I know.
Facebook around 6 p.m. and then
Yeah.
she called 911 at 6:30. Did she think Mark Zuckerberg knew where Summer was?
Yeah, that just don't make sense, does it? Period. It doesn't. There's something right there's another huge red flag. I didn't mean to change the subject on you.
No, because that's actually very important to bring up and remind everybody. And that's what we do. We're going back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We bring up the
But
beginning.
she was on her damn phone. Mm-hmm. She was on that phone. But now, if your child got gone, why would you be on social media? That's a huge red flag.
Well, and also, why are you telling everybody that you have been looking frantically for your daughter when we clearly see your nasty ass posting on Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that cannot be ignored. That is, there's probably a lot of people that don't know, new people that don't know that. Yeah, she was on her phone, people. Mm-hmm. So what was she doing? She damn sure wasn't looking for her daughter, and she damn sure still ain't looking for her daughter. None of them are. Because in my opinion, they know she can't be physically found. That's why they're so freaking cocky. Yeah.
Alexandra said she was trying to create proof that Summer was home earlier. Woo, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. You go.
A good one. That's why I love this chat. I love when we think outside the box because it's not what they say. It's not what they say. And I did that show, I think it was in July, and I said partners in crime. I think they were trying to set up Dudley because in 2 weeks, he could not have screwed stuff up that bad to get fired. Couldn't have done it. Couldn't. It's
as far as I'm concerned, we got great detectives in chat.
Yes, we do.
Yep. Somebody's going to be right. I think we should have a drawing. Whoever gets the closest to what happened. I'm not trying to make fun of this whole thing, but sometimes you got to have a little bit of humor.
We try to keep it light. Light. We're not detectives. Jimmy Hoffa said Ronnie Lawson also said no signs of abduction. Yep. No, because So again, FBI card unit, TBI, Hawkins County, no sign of abduction. But now we're back to blaming Dudley. All right.
Yep.
Interesting. Dudley's wife was talking about basically their take-home pay. And I believe Dudley and I believe his wife. For one, they're trying to clear their name. 2, they did not kidnap Summer. And 3, they got screwed over by Dawn. Okay? Now, she said that they were taking home between like $1,500 and $2,000 a week, which makes sense. That's why early on, people were like, well, I think they had a lot of food stamps and things like that. Then things came out about how they inherited the land. And I'm like, yeah, well, someone had some money. Then I hear that he's in construction. People were talking about, well, drywalling, you actually make, really good money. So then we go to this. Why didn't Summer have shoes that fit if he's bringing in $2,000 a week?
Drugs, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. They spent all their damn money on themselves and not their freaking kids. Hell, they didn't even get Summer, as far as we know, nothing to even eat that day.
Didn't even
riding
buy
around all freaking day.
Nope. Not even a 99-cent corn dog at the Sonic. Nope.
Nope, nothing.
And I'm telling
they gave her something, all right.
Yeah. And I'm telling you again, if I was in that circle, I would be calling Ellie all the time saying, can you put out a statement saying I have nothing to do with this? Because this man's reputation is in the lurch. And even though we're all like-minded in here, there are some freaks out there that are harassing the hell out of those people, asking them where Summer is.
Yeah, can you imagine being Dudley? I mean, can you just imagine, don't even be Dudley, just be anybody, and have somebody saying that you kidnapped their 5-year-old daughter on social media. Can you imagine that? How mad you would be? Man, I'm just saying, he's lucky Dudley just don't give him a good ass whooping and a hemming.
There you go.
Yeah, that's because I can't imagine being stuck with a label on, yep, there's the guy that kidnapped a 5-year-old. That is so wrong to do to somebody.
They've been threatened. These two have
Yeah,
been threatened by internet weirdos that don't understand and can't put a thought together that there's no way he kidnapped her. He has an airtight alibi. It absolutely makes no sense. Thomas said Don blamed him so he wouldn't have to pay him his money. What a lowlife. Yeah, or it was a setup for what they knew was getting ready to happen. I don't know. But he definitely did him dirty. Did him dirty. So Dudley goes on to say that he doesn't think that law enforcement believes them. Kevin, your device is not connected. I don't know if you know that or not. Dodging Bullets said he was the fall guy for Don. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna look at this for Laura. Still can't get over how they had money for drugs, but Summer didn't have her own bed. Yep, she had a mattress on the floor, but he's bringing in $2,000 a week. Sorry about that, my friend.
hey, no problem. Nope, no problem. It's the internet gods. Nothing I can do about them.
Nope.
But yeah, I'm gonna go back to what I just said. I just can't imagine somebody accusing you, saying that. It's bad enough to say, "Oh, that I think this person's an asshole," but to say this guy kidnapped my 5-year-old daughter, that's taking it way too far. Don, quit, Don. You're a liar. You and your wife both.
If this is all to get out to pay him his $1,500,
yeah, no shit.
Well, you can get sued for a lot more than that, Don. And that's why, I really hope these people start saying, look, I need my name cleared, because from what I was reading about the laws in Tennessee and false accusations, there would have to be some kind of statement from law enforcement saying Dudley has nothing to do with this. And then they have all of Don's statements, and he can show all the threats that he's been through, the harassment, and he can do something about it. So, June 15th, the day that Summer went missing, and we've talked about that day a million times, and we will continue to do so. Don told law enforcement that Dudley is a person of interest, and he explained how he had gotten fired the day before. Law enforcement went to Dudley's dad's house in Churchill. His dad is Dudley Sr. So his dad calls Dudley, who lives in Virginia, and he gave him the law enforcement's phone number. Dudley called him, and during the call, he found out Summer was missing. He didn't know before. This is the first he'd heard of it. What does that tell you? He didn't know. He didn't know. And trust me, law enforcement is smart enough to know if someone's going, oh, I didn't know, or if they're truly surprised and shocked. They know the difference.
You know what? I was just thinking, you know why I think Don got rid of Dudley the day before? He didn't want him around the next day. Don did not want anybody around the job site that day. Why? Why didn't Don?
What a good point.
Yeah. Why did Don not want anyone around the job site when Summer went missing? Think about that for just about 2 seconds.
Oh, that's genius. Exactly. You'd have to fire him on the 14th.
Yes.
You can't tell him we're not working tomorrow. You can't tell him not to be there.
There you go.
Wow. Yeah. So he would have to have made all this up.
Yes, he would have.
Mind you, for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, this guy worked for him, and he did the 50-50 with him. This is genius, Kevin. the 50-50 with him, because he had to keep him around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to get rid of him because he had to make sure that nobody could see his coming and going on the 15th.
Yep. That's exactly why. I guarantee you, folks, this is only my opinion, but I'm telling you right now, that is the reason Dudley was not there the day Summer, because he couldn't be. No way. Don could not have anybody around on the day Summer went missing. And why? Because Don's involved. Period. People.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow. Yep, because there have to be some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least let the guy work the week out. You don't fire people on a Monday.
So what does Don do? He makes up a story. Oh, he's a meth head. No, Don, you didn't want Dudley there the next day because you did. Your daughter got gone. That's why. We know what you're doing, Don.
That is a great point. Great point. And also the 2 weeks before, 2 or 3 weeks, whenever they started working together. Some say 2, some say 3. Anyway, the barrel video that Don used as his Facebook profile video for the longest time was the barrel video that we've all talked about. And it seems to me that video is very important to him, because I think that's kind of when decisions were starting to be made. This wasn't something they devised up Monday night. Something was going down then. And he mentions, I'll get to that in a minute, so I'm going to give you a little foreshadowing. Don does mention the barrel video. Because now where they point and say it's important, it's not. But it's the little things they sprinkle in. That's what's important. That's what's important. But anyway, so again, law enforcement went to Dudley Sr.'s house in Churchill. He gives him the number to call law enforcement. He even asked his son if he was in trouble. Of course, he had no idea what was going on. Why are they looking for me? Dudley called, and that's when he found out Summer was missing. And Dudley thinks that he's blaming him because Don shorted him $1,500. I think there's a little bit more to it than $1,500. I think that the $1,500 was shorted because they were planning to blame him. And they thought that law enforcement would grab on to this Dudley story and run with it. You know, this is a disgruntled employee. He feels like he's owed more money. He's got some criminal things in his background, and I mean all that stuff. I think they put this together. I really do. Not well.
No, you can't have Dudley there when you have to try to prove that your car was at work. Haha, Don, you are not as slick as you think you are, mister.
Yep, Jennifer, Don ruined Dudley's reputation. Well, he's trying to. He would do anything for Dudley to be in jail. Now, let's talk about this. A motive for kidnapping. For one, Dudley just lost his job. He doesn't need another child. He doesn't know Candace is running around all day. He doesn't know her routine. He doesn't know how to get into the basement or where Summer would be. And why take Summer? Why? There's 4 children there. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. There's, you know what? You brought up a great point. There's absolutely no motive whatsoever for Dudley. None. What motive would he have? Absolutely none. This man just wanted his damn money. And Don wanted him get gone the next day.
Don't think that they would have one twinge of guilt if tomorrow TBI went and picked up Dudley. Don't think it. Even though they know it's not true, and this is all a campaign of slander and setup. Don't think it would bother them at all.
they'd be bathing in that. You know what I mean? They would love that.
Like Scorpion said, who kidnaps over $1,500? Nobody. Nah. Mm-mm.
And drug addicts want drugs and money, not kids.
Yeah. But he keeps saying he's a meth head. All right, so we'll get back to that because we have more to discuss. Don has given a rebuttal. All right, so he went on Benny's live last night. They asked how he was doing, and he goes, "Just praying for my daughter, bud."
Well, and you got to look at it this way too with Dudley. Don says he's a meth head. It's the opposite. He's not a meth head.
Oh, exactly. What they say is always the opposite. So Don said he's just been praying for his daughter, trying to stay sober, all that stuff. He did confirm he knew him 7 years ago. He said Dudley went through all the crews, got fired from every one of them. He was put with Don for a little bit. We flash forward 7 years. Don hires him. Okay? Don said he gave him 50% and thought that would be incentive to work hard, but he was always late to work. Well, I mean, how late are we talking? And I'm sure the dude can work independently. That's really not a reason because someone's fast about doing their work and because they show up a little late when they're driving from Virginia. That's really not a reason to fire him.
And you know what? I'd love to know exactly what time Don left for work on that day. I'd love to know that. And did he leave for work on that time every day? I'd be very curious to find out Don's work habits. I would love to know those. That would tell you a lot.
Yeah. Dudley didn't really say anything about that. So think about this. Don isn't the most giving person in the world, but right before summer gets gone, he hires this guy, and instead of just paying him a wage, he splits everything 50-50. Okay? Now Dudley has confirmed this. This is not the normal actions of Don. But he said this would be an incentive to work hard, but that Dudley was always late.
Maybe he was. Maybe Dudley was late. Maybe Dudley does do drugs. Okay, let's just say this for a second. Maybe everything, that doesn't make him a damn kidnapper. You know? Maybe his work ethics aren't great. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe anything Don says, so we'll get that out there first. But what I'm saying is, none of that is a motive to kidnap a girl, a little 5-year-old.
Nope. I think we slammed that one home already. So what I'm saying is, maybe I'm not saying it right. Don, it's not in his nature to split 50-50 with anyone, especially someone that he said worked for the company 7 years prior and was fired by every crew, and he didn't like him anyway. But 2 or 3 weeks before summer gets gone, he hires him and gives him a 50-50 split. You see where I'm going?
Yeah, because he wanted Dudley. That's why he did it, because he wanted Dudley to work for him, just like Candace wanted Hunter to work for her.
Thank you. All right, so then, Dudley's got all this really weird behavior. Besides being late, Don's noticing all kinds of weird behavior. So Don decides looking up meth head behavior on YouTube, how a meth head acts. And he said Dudley fit the script, to a T. To a T. Why would Don Wells, of all people, have to research what a meth head looks like or how they act?
You know why?
Get real.
Right. You know why? Because Don's trying to portray himself as somebody that doesn't even know what a meth head looks like, because he doesn't even want to be associated with that. What an idiot. He knows exactly what a meth head looks like without looking it up on YouTube. Look at your wife's mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. She's gumming it right now. Life on Wheels said, Dudley said he'd take a drug test. Yeah, he did. Where's your drug test, Don? Where's yours? Where's yours, Candace?
Yeah, where's the lie detector test, too?
Yeah, I want to know it all. Since you guys are putting it all out there, I want to know too. But this is absolutely ridiculous that Don would have to do any kind of research on what a meth head looks like, what a meth head acts like. We were already setting up Dudley. We gave him 50-50 a few weeks before summer gets gone. We're already setting him up to get fired. Just insane stuff. He's late. He's a meth head. He was on stilts, and I told him we're doing something else. You name it. Fire him the day before on a Monday, which is nobody in construction is going to fire somebody on a Monday to make themselves work extra hard and by themselves for the rest of the week. That is ridiculous. And he did not have to look on YouTube. This was part of the story. Okay?
Yeah, and another thing, I did construction for 29 years. I built houses. I mean, I've done it all. And I'll tell you something right now. I have never gave an employee 50% of what I make.
I'm glad you brought that up. What foreman would ever do that? Why would Don give him half of his pay?
To make sure he was there. That's why. Dudley was used so Don could try to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, but it ain't working, Donnie boy. You are a liar, and you're going to go caught.
You are the best, my friend. I am so glad that you pulled all that out. That is awesome. So Don goes on further to say, okay, he did say that Dudley worked for him 2 to 3 weeks. I'm guessing more like 3, but whatever, Don. Don said, since then, Dudley worked for Hammond's Drywall, and Tony Hammond's is the man that tried to take a 12-year-old boy to Kingsport. So he's saying that Dudley has ties there. So because Dudley worked for yet another piece of shit, he's still culpable? That doesn't make any sense.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yep, your britches are burning.
Yeah, his are. They're burning, all right. And I'll tell you what, their hourglass is getting empty. You watch.
Yep. So he said he didn't have to give him anything. You know, he gave him the $300. And this is a weird story. This is a weird part of it. He said he didn't have to give him $300. Okay, well, if you didn't have to give him $300, we don't get paid for work in advance. We get paid for the work we already did. So basically, the last week, this was on a Monday, he fired him. Okay, so he gave him $300, I guess, for Monday. What about the week prior? Because I don't know about you guys, but payroll, you don't get paid in advance, because if people don't show up, then you've lost your money. So he definitely did short him. But still, that does not mean that Dudley, between Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon, devised a plan to kidnap Summer over $1,500. It doesn't make sense.
Nope. You know why? Because it's not the truth. That's why it doesn't make sense. The truth doesn't make sense. The truth makes sense. Lying doesn't. You know, the truth doesn't waver. Mm-hmm. The truth is the truth. There aren't a bunch of damn stories and all this. And you know, it's great because really, I mean, we've been talking about this case for a long time, and we will continue to. But the thing of it is, when time goes by, you start figuring shit out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we're 100% right in everything we say. That's not what I'm getting at all. But what I'm saying is, after you've dissected this case for so long, shit starts becoming a little bit clearer.
Oh, it's super clear. It's super clear, but you just can't take everything at face value in this case. You have to really think about it. And there was a reason that he hired this man 3 weeks prior, when the guy, according to Don, already had a very bad work record with this company. Not only did he hire him, say it, oh, 15 bucks an hour, whatever, 50-50 down the middle to keep him around, but made sure to fire him the day before.
Yep. Sure did.
Then within 24 hours, give or take, he tells law enforcement that he had just fired Dudley, and Dudley is suspect number 1, and they need to go find him. No.
Don't make sense. Nope.
Oh, it makes sense, just not to us. This was a setup, and this was leading up to getting Summer gone.
Yep.
So Don goes on to say that he'd never pawned any company tools. Okay, well, neither here nor there, Don. If you didn't, you didn't. But we don't put anything past you. Don won't say too much about smoking weed on the job. He just goes on to say he's no angel, but he did deny giving any marijuana to his son.
Of course he did.
Well,
remember the opposite.
Opposite day. Then Don says Dudley thinks he's a gangbanger and has a prison mentality, and he has possible drug connections. Well, where do you get your drugs, Don? You have clearly said over and over that you had your drug days.
All you had to do is walk across the street and get some.
Ooh, got a corner store, huh?
Yeah.
So then he goes on to talk about Dudley's father has kidnapping charges, and that Dudley's brother served 14 years, he said, straight in jail. So he's saying because of his dad, his brother, this other man he worked for, him getting fired and thinking he's owed money, between all of this, he's responsible or has something to do with Summer's disappearance. Calling bullshit. Sorry.
Yep, it all starts making sense when you really start digging into this. You know, it does. You start figuring out a few little things that just aren't right. And like we've always said it, Brooke, and I said it to you this morning before the live, their behavior is not of a grieving parent, period. The daughter got kidnapped. Absolutely not. I don't think they could fake it this good.
Nope. So he goes on to talk about this sloppy work performance. Okay, again, 50-50 cut would be something somebody would have to be working with you for quite a long time to get.
Or a business partner.
You'd have to be a partner.
Yeah.
Kat, thank you for the super chat. She said, what page are we on? I got a bunch on the floor, Kat. If you want me to go through and count them, I will. But I mean, really, why would you, if somebody, according to you, already had this bad work ethic and was fired by every crew, would you bring him in at half? Wouldn't you start them out at like a, like I said, let's just say 15 bucks an hour. I don't know what the going rate is for.
That tells me this shit was planned with Summer.
But you give him.
That's 50, exactly.
50. And Dudley was explaining what he was owed too. So it sounds about 50-50. So I believe it. I do. But nobody brings a brand new person in and says, hey, I'll give you half. Who? Would you do that, Kevin? You were in construction for years.
Absolutely not. I mean, I paid my people good, but not 50%. You can't. You'd go broke.
Hmm.
You can't do that. And but Don made the deal sweet for Dudley, and he knew the right person to pick. You know, Don knew exactly what he was. He did what he wanted to do. But you know what? The truth is coming to light. You'll
It
see.
is. And I think Dudley shed a lot of light on it
So do I.
because it looks like a setup. Again, who would hire a new employee with a bad track record and give them 50-50? Give them half. And
It's
then
a
you're upset about them being late. Well, I mean, okay, whatever. He's late. I'm sure he can work independently. He's in one apartment and Don's in the other. They're not up
Don.
each other's asses. And on top of that, that's a business relationship that would take a long time to get to that point. Now, Don said it's because he wanted to move into like big houses and new construction. Okay, fine. But you don't just start out with somebody with a bad work record, according to you, Don, and give them half to give them incentive to come to work. That
Don.
makes zero sense.
Don gives them 50-50, and Candace gives them twisted teas and vapes.
Hmm.
What's the diff? What
Exactly.
is the difference?
Hmm. So he starts going on more about, like I said, more drywall talk. 16-foot shortages everywhere.
Right.
How Dudley was performing his job. I mean, and again, nothing that would show a motive for kidnapping, but something that would give Don an excuse to fire him again on a Monday, which is really kind of unheard of in the construction world. The day before Summer went missing.
Yeah, isn't that the timing? Yeah, man, that is just burning a hole in my head right now. That Dudley was definitely set up.
They tried to.
They
What they
tried to
didn't
set
realize
that
is
man
they
up.
got a hold of the wrong dude
Yep.
because he doesn't care about his record, his dad's record, his brother's record. He's flat out saying, this is what really went on. Okay? So on the 14th, Don went to lunch. He came back and he fired him. He said from there, Dudley was driving around subdivisions and calling his boss. I'm sure Dudley was calling the actual boss to tell him what the hell was going on because he'd only been there a couple weeks and maybe he was running late one morning. I don't know. But he goes from a 50-50 agreement to being totally shit canned on a Monday.
It doesn't matter if he's late to work or what. That's not a motive to take a 5-year-old.
No.
So I mean, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, man, this was planned.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always kind of wondered the timeline of how
Hmm.
long it took to cook this up. And it kind of seems like the 3 weeks from when he hired Dudley, because, Don kept talking about the barrel video. And, that was 3 weeks before. It kind of seems like we started cooking something up then. And Tamara, you're right. You make $1,500 a week and you don't have a bed for Summer.
Yeah, no shit, right? That's a great comment.
Yep. So Don, like I said again, went to lunch, and I guess that's when he had a come to Jesus moment and decided that the 14th after lunch was the time to fire Dudley. He goes on to say that Dudley was driving around subdivisions. Again, how do you know? Because you were at work, and was calling his boss. He has every reason to call the boss because he was unfairly fired. He doesn't know exactly, but he said people told him. Always something so vague. He can never say who told him or what was really going on, just that people told him.
Yeah, and how can you go from a 50-50 split to firing a person in a week?
Yeah. Or in
Yeah,
2 weeks.
why were things so great in the beginning at 50-50, and then all of a sudden the day before Summer disappears. Dudley's a worthless worker. Don't make sense, Don. Don't make sense.
No.
So, yeah, it's this is bullcrap. This is deflection. Is all it is.
Because I mean, I have a couple of relatives that are in construction, and for them to split right down the middle, that's got to be someone that, God, they have to either know them for a long, long time, or I don't know. That's an unheard of amount. Unheard of amount. All right, so then he goes on to mention the Subaru again. And like I said, when they say something's important, it's not. But he did mention it again. And he said how many people had contact with him that day. And then he mentioned he was even looked him in the eye on the 15th. His boss was giving him hell or joking with him about having the Subaru. And I'm like, now, why are you bringing that up again? Why do you bring up the Subaru? Obviously, because the Subaru isn't important, or you wouldn't point it out. Why bring up the Subaru if we know it's not important, and that's why he brings it up.
Yep. You're right. You nailed it. Yeah. On the other live, the deflection opposite show. You nailed it. It's exactly what's going on.
Yep.
And it ain't working because, yeah. And how many chapters are we on now in the crap show?
I don't know.
What chapter are we on? 9 million?
Oh, this is
It's
worse than Star
ridiculous.
Wars trilogy. It's just going on and on.
Yep.
So Don was asked about the dreams that he told Dudley he was having. Okay, that was a hard no. He denied that right off the bat. Don did say that he drove to Virginia and he dropped off Dudley's paycheck. This is what an idiot he is. This is what an idiot he is. He says he dropped off his paycheck, but then goes on to say it was cash, $300 cash. Well, that's not a paycheck. And why'd you drive to Virginia? Is this kind of, well, that's where Dudley lives. But why did you drive all that way? First of all, this was after Summer went missing. So obviously you had other things on your mind than getting $300 to Dudley. It sounds to me kind of like a Hunter and Allie visit part 2. He went to Dudley to see what he told TBI. Candace went to Hunter and Allie to see what they told TBI.
There you go. Yep. I bet you Don was chomping at the bit to find out what Dudley had to say.
I guarantee he was. Because he could have gotten that money to him a million other ways. He could have cash apped him. He could have done a Walmart to Walmart. He could have got a money order and mailed it. He could have given it to him on that Monday when he fired him like he should have.
Yeah, and let's look at this for a second. So he fires Dudley because Dudley's such a terrible employee, but yet he drives all the way to Virginia to give him $300. Yeah, okay.
While his daughter's missing.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all. Yeah.
While his daughter's missing.
Yeah. Yeah, not looking for his daughter. He's worried about paying Dudley.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, I'm looking for my daughter. You stop by the house and I'll give you your money, but I'm looking for my daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, I know I owe you some money, but look, my daughter's missing. My daughter's missing, and I cannot drive to Virginia. If you want to drive here, I can give it to you, but I can't go up there. But he drove to Virginia, which could only be 45 minutes. They're right there on the border. It'd be like people, in Kansas that drive down to Oklahoma for work. It could be an hour commute, 45 minutes. I don't know. It wasn't like he made an all-day trip, but he drove to Virginia to give Dudley his money, $300.
I'd be like, I'll give you an extra $500 if you help me look for my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. You would think. But that was a priority for him with Summer missing. Okay. And mind you, he's got to work too, correct? But he drives to Virginia to give him this $300, which is a very nominal amount of money. Your daughter's missing. You drive to Virginia when there's other ways you could have gotten the money, or you could have told Dudley, come get your money. My daughter's missing. But we didn't have that conversation, right? No, we made a special trip because Dudley had people actually taking a video of this exchange because he was afraid Don was going to start something. Don admits it, that did happen. Dudley said, yeah, he did. He made sure somebody was taping it. So Dudley was really afraid. At this point, he knows that Don accused him of abducting Summer because he's already had to deal with law enforcement. Don's on his way to get him the $300. If I was Dudley, I would have said, no, put it in the mail. You're not coming anywhere near my house and family, but that's how it went down. Again, I think it was more of an intimidation, kind of like what Candace did to Allie and Hunter, as opposed to Don trying to make sure Dudley had his $300. It's crazy. What do you guys think? Because that makes no sense to me. So he gives him the cash. Supposedly, according to Don, Dudley asked him how Summer was. Dudley would not have asked him that. You know why? Because he knew Summer was missing, because he had already been interviewed by law enforcement. He said after that, Dudley called the boss and said that he wasn't paid. He has every reason to do that because he was shorted $1,500. So, of course, he's going to call the main boss. So Don goes on to say, why would I give him 50% if I just want to sabotage him? Well, Don, no one thinks that you split everything 50-50 just to turn around and get rid of him. The 50-50 was to keep him around and loyal to you, and maybe to get him to say things that you might have needed him to say later, like an alibi on the 15th.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw Don at work that day. Yeah, that's exactly what Don wanted.
Mm-hmm. But instead, he gets rid of him on the 14th because he knew he had shit going down, or he already knew that Dudley wasn't going to lie for him. So he gets rid of him on the 14th because there was some shit going down on the 15th. We all know that. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So Don says, Dudley, for him, is suspect number one. He said, because Dudley blames Don for Dudley's first wife leaving him, for being fired, and for all his life problems. I don't think Dudley blames him for anything.
Well, my whole thing is, a week before Summer goes disappear, gets gone, Don is 50-50 with a guy, which is telling me, you must be a great worker to split 50-50. But then on the other hand, gets rid of him, basically a few days later because he's worthless. Bullshit. It don't add up.
No. And I want to address this comment real quick. Stacy said, my father owned a drywall business. No one gets 50% because they have to pay for insurance and taxes for their workers, and they have to take any losses. But Don did, because he said it was incentive for him to work. No, Don, that wasn't the incentive. No, my friend.
I did that kind of work. I did that kind of work for 29 years, and I never went 50-50 with anyone. Especially like day 1 or 2, when you don't even know their work ethic or if they can do the damn job. Come on. But no, this abduction that they're trying to sell still has nothing to do with Dudley blaming his life problems on Don, getting a short paycheck. Absolutely crazy. Don himself admitted that Dudley has an airtight alibi because the day of the 15th, odd that Don knows this detail, Dudley confirmed it, that he had his truck up on jacks spray painting the frame, and he said he made sure everyone in the apartment complex saw him. Well, then he didn't do it. If all these people at his apartment complex in Virginia, where he was working on his truck the day after being fired, saw him, then he is not part of this. He said he made himself too seen
Like too obvious. Like he made sure too many people saw him sound familiar, and that he believes he's involved somehow.
You know what all this shows me? They are not smart enough to pull this crime off, period.
Mm-mm. No, the walls close in every day, my friend.
Yeah, this narcissistic Don, his world, it's crumbling slowly for both of them, for all three of them. It's coming. Click, click, click.
Click, click, click. Helena said, I work in roofing constructions. Guys will split 50-50 for cash side jobs all the time. It's all under the table. Maybe that was the case. It's just not Don's character to take that type of hit for
No.
someone he already said had a bad work ethic.
And
Dudley
if you
has
really,
nothing to do with this.
right, and if you look, exactly, if you really look at this, the 50-50 has nothing to do with the intention was at all. The intention was for Don to get rid of Dudley the day Don needed Dudley, period.
Yep. And that's the reason he keeps bringing him up, even though he's blamed a ton of other things. Entities, people, but it's like blaming the cartels, like blaming the tooth fairy. This instance, and I never talked about it on the show before because the man deserves his privacy. He really does. And it doesn't make any sense. So I never really brought Dudley up before till Don did this double down. Dudley's a real person. Okay. Now, I'm not saying Joe Biden's not a real person or the bikers aren't a real person, but this one, I mean, he's serious about it and he has a lot of detail, and it's very unfair to this man. Now, according to Dudley, he's cleared. He is cleared as a suspect. They want nothing more to do with him. They don't want to talk to him. They have no more questions for him. But Don says Dudley's a suspect. No one told Don that. I'm telling you, nobody is calling Don and Candace and saying, guess what we found out?
I guarantee you, all these people, the names have been brought up and brought up. In my opinion, this is my opinion, they've been shook upside down and sideways by TBI and FBI and local law enforcement. Don, you're a liar.
Yeah. When they say everyone is still a suspect, they don't mean every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's ever been around the wells. They mean the 3 people that were around that were responsible for Summer, mainly the 2. That's who they're talking about. They don't mean everybody in Rogersville or everybody that was on the drywall site or everybody in church. They don't mean that.
So yeah, so what Dudley kidnapped Summer? Then what did he do with her? Just it's just so ridiculous. That man didn't have anything to do with this, and I just hope that his name isn't continue to be dragged through the mud because of Don Wells.
He's getting true threats from people. He's getting harassed. It's bad. It needs to stop. And I really do wish TBI would say, listen, when we say everyone's a suspect, we don't mean everyone that they've ever come in contact with. I really wish they would make it a little more clear. I've got to read this comment because it's awesome. Jenny said, Don's memory is amazing when looking back 7 years ago to working with Dudley, even down to the exact time he stopped working with him due to not being able to work with him.
Exactly.
Just like Candace. She knows everything except for what happened after she dropped off Hunter.
Yeah. What does that tell you? Yeah, it's so all they're doing, in my opinion, all they're doing is proving it's not an abduction. That's all they've done.
But he clearly says Dudley is suspect number 1, but then says he has an airtight alibi. It can't be both. No. He can't be suspect number 1. And you're telling me because of the $1,500, Dudley's ex-wife and his life problems, that somehow, on top of being fired, he orchestrated this? No way. No way. So then Don goes on to say, Dudley called the boss. He said he was crying. I don't think that the boss, with Summer missing and Dawn a suspect, and yes, sir, you are, relayed this information to Dawn. I think this is made up. I go for things that never happened for 1,000, Alex. That Dudley called the boss and said, he was crying, I just got too close to that family. Dun 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 dun. What a
Wow.
dramatic effect.
Yeah, no shit.
What a dramatic effect. That's some good icing on the cake there. That Dudley would say that and that the boss would repeat it. Wouldn't the boss be given that information to the TBI that this is kind of a weird statement that Dudley made?
In my opinion, if Dudley had anything to do with it, he'd already be in damn jail.
Yeah. Now, I forgot, Don, when he was looking up the whole, what a meth head acts like and all that stuff, he actually wrote it on the wall they were working on because he said he wanted to make sure to memorize the symptoms, I guess.
So what does that tell you? Don Wells, all he is doing is trying to sell the meth theory with Dudley. That's all he's doing. He's just trying to use anything he can to make himself look like, oh, I'm a guy that I don't know what meth addicts look like. How would I know that? So I had to look it up on YouTube. Bullshit, Don. Don't believe that for 1 second.
Well, he blamed Dudley for writing all that stuff on the wall. Don flat out admitted last night. He wrote it on there because he wanted to memorize it. And
right.
It fit Dudley's behavior to a T.
Oh,
come on. Just like Dudley calling the boss crying, saying, I got too close to that family. They thought Summer was a boy. How close were you? They thought Summer was a boy. They didn't even want to be up there. They went and got their money. The wife said, count it and let's go, which I could see the wife doing that. Count it and let's get the hell out of Dodge. We're done here. And instead, they're making it sound like he was somehow infatuated with the family. Get out of here. I'm going to put the link up if anybody wants to come up and talk about this.
Yeah, maybe there's somebody local can grab the link. That would be great.
This is too wild for words. Kevin, did you notice that StreamYard hasn't shut down on us?
Yeah, I noticed. I've been noticing that. That's killer. I mean, for a while there, it was terrible. I mean, every 5 minutes.
Yeah, we had some shows that were really.
Boy, oh boy, Donnie, you are weaving you a web, buddy.
Well, I really want Dudley to get a hold of law enforcement and
so
say,
do I.
Whatever you can do to clear me, because I've got to get this harassment, these threats. He's got children at home. He doesn't need this. He doesn't. And, Don.
Well, let's see, though. It's a catch-22 for law enforcement. I wish they would. I agree with you. I wish TBI, it doesn't matter who. They're all law enforcement. I wish they would come out and say, not every Tom, Dick, and Harry is a suspect. The suspect group. But see, TBI they can't come out and say stuff like that. Not at this point right now.
No.
They can't. They can't do it. They're not going to, they have a strategy. I guarantee you. I mean, they're working on a strategy. And they just can't make a lot of info previous to people. You know what I mean?
Right. And they very rarely name a person of interest.
Right.
Now, in the case with Gabby Petito, they said Brian Laundrie was a person of interest. They weren't accusing him. They said of someone we want to talk to. Right. They haven't come out and said who they think killed, who they haven't said that. They haven't come out and said, this is our suspect. This is who we're honing in on. You know why? They could flee. They could hurt themselves. There's a lot of
Exactly.
things that could go on.
Yep. Yeah, they're not going to tell us what's going on down there. And like I've said a million times, we've talked about this. We're not going to know anything until they're already arrested. So, you know, I'm just wait. Every day I check my updates and all that. Every morning I'm thinking, man, maybe they got arrested overnight. But it's coming.
It's coming. Something's going to happen. I
It
mean,
has
now,
to.
I don't know that all three are going to get arrested. It might just be
No, I don't
one.
know.
But I think this 3-week buildup, and the more I listen to Dudley, the more my eyes were popping out of my head going, oh, they were using him as the patsy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Just like Hunter. We'll get you some twisted teas and vapes. And with Dudley, I'll give you 50% of my take.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to make sure Dudley was, yep, that's exactly what's going on, in my opinion.
Yep. I want to read this comment real quick by Scorpion, who said, the children are the only victims, not the parents.
Yep.
Yep. You are exactly right. Bruce Davis wants to say hi to us. Hello, Bruce. How are you today?
I'm good. Hey, I just got one thing I just wanted to say that you said. You were talking about this, that Don's, blaming this guy, but each and every one of us know that when you start doing this kind of blaming and then putting it out onto the internet, okay, rather if it's not right, but this is what's going to happen, and it pisses me off because people will believe anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, when it's not true. Like, none of us know about this guy. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not here to judge Don and all them. I don't agree with a lot of crap that he's done, and I'm not up here sticking up for him. But when he's doing this kind of crap, you know, it's just going to come back and haunt him. And if it's down the road where Don gets in trouble, which, he already has, but the internet garbage that you want to put out there could hurt somebody. And that's what kind of sets me off sometimes, of not wanting to listen sometimes about Don Wells and stuff that they do. They want people to feel sorry, but you know what? Like, I have a hard time when you're doing stuff like this. This is really disgusting to me. You mean
me or Don?
No, Don or anybody should not be blaming anybody on the internet.
No.
Okay?
No,
it's
exactly.
been 6 months.
I agree.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to overtalk. I got to get going in a second. Back to work. I forgot my lunch. But Don Wells, if you're listening to this crap, like, your behavior, your choices, and it's been 6 months, and all of a sudden now you want to wait and go look for this little girl.
There you go.
What about day one? Thank you, you two. God bless you. God bless everybody in the chat. I love to hear your show. I'll be listening to you on the way back to work.
Hey,
thank you, buddy.
Sorry for the misunderstanding. I just want to make sure you weren't talking about us. But
no, I'm not talking about.
Don cannot go around and just keep accusing person after person after person. But this guy, he's really putting the pencil to the paper, and he admits that this man has children of his own. Mm-hmm. Why is he endangering this man's family? Because we all know that there are sick tickets on the internet, people with nothing better to do than to harass this family. And
You're so right. You're so right. That's what I mean. Like if I was to come out here and say that, like, one of these two, I blame them for something that happened, like, say I'm in the same situation, but I blame one of these two here on the panel, okay, and it's not true, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm worthless piece of crap if I'm doing stuff like that. If I don't know, it can hurt people's lives. Mm-hmm. Say that this guy goes out to the store or something, somebody hurts him.
Right.
It's it's like Don Wells. Like, I want to feel sorry for the guy, but then this kind of crap happens all the time. All these disgusting choices that he continues to make. But I'm not going to talk bad about him.
No,
God's the one that's going to
you
deal
don't
with
have
him.
to.
God is the one that will deal with him, and he will get punished for the stuff. And that's just what I believe.
There's only one thing that can help Don find his daughter right now. Well, two: the truth and law enforcement. If he wants shit done, he'd use those two tools. This are the only ones.
So what do you like? What's your guys's like opinions on this? Like, why is it waiting until now for people to all of a sudden go search for this little girl? Like, do you guys believe it? This is just kind of some. Did Summer get hurt?
No, I don't think. No, I
I
definitely think she got hurt. I think it's basically what we see on sometimes a daily, sometimes a weekly, sometimes a bi-weekly. Just lost my train of thought. What we see from them, everything that's thrown out, I think it slows everything down. And without Summer, they have to put together a circumstantial case now. And in all the other cases that it has been circumstantial, it's taken a very, very, very long time to put together.
Right. As far as my opinion goes, this is definitely, in my opinion, foul play for sure. This is not an abduction. That's my opinion.
The thing is, I thought at first, and then just all the stuff that's came out.
Yeah.
So I'm with you guys. Hey, thanks a lot. You guys have a good day. Thank you for letting me come up for a minute.
Oh,
hey,
thank you.
Bruce. Talk to you later. Come back anytime. Let's see. 3 Clowns wants to come up now. Hello, what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that if you remember, Don went really hard on Dudley right from the beginning.
Yes, he did.
He made it sound like this guy was so messed up, out of his mind. And if he was like that, I mean, he drove to work. You know what I mean? How could this man be so out of his mind on some sort of drug? But Don doesn't talk about, when he fired him, he left work, how he left work. If this man was so messed up, I'm sure other people would have said something and come forward with that. But no one has said anything about Dudley.
If he was that messed up, why did Don want to give him 50% of his wages?
Right, that too. But then he tried to make it sound like he was on this god-awful drug to put in your mind that he could do something like that. I think TBI knows the deal. I think they're just trying to figure out what they did with Summer. And because they only get one shot at it,
right.
to charge them. I think that TBI knows the deal. And they're just trying to figure out where Summer is. And that's what they're having a problem with.
In my opinion, you are so on point right now.
I really do. I do feel like their arrest is coming soon. I feel it with Dawn and Candace and Grandis. What grandmother? She's been in hiding. We haven't even heard anything about the grandmother.
Yeah.
Other than that one thing. And as a grandmother, I would be pounding the pavement looking for my grandchild.
Right.
And it's the things they haven't done that speak to me.
She doesn't even look for her own daughter.
Right.
No, right. But especially here is Summer, but yet you don't hear anything about Grandma looking, or none of them. So I think it's coming.
Oh, I think it is too, and I think you're spot on. And like you said, if the guy is that messed up, why would you split your money with him right off the bat?
Right. I think he used Dudley from the get-go. That's what I think.
And also think about this. If he's coming to work late, now mind you, let's say this was a under the table agreement. If he's coming to work late and not doing the job, wouldn't he say, look, I can't give you half. I need you to clean this stuff up and then we'll renegotiate. But instead, you sit there and you let the man continue to work. You go to lunch on a Monday, the day before your daughter goes missing. You go to lunch and you come back and fire him. And then what? Where were you the rest of the day, Dawn? Did you go home or did you continue the job by yourself?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I
Yeah.
think by Don, listen to this. I think by Don saying that he had to look up on YouTube what a meth addict acts and looks like is because of the simple fact he needed a rebuttal for, well, why did you hire him then and offer him 50-50? So Don can turn around and say, well, I didn't know he was the meth addict because I didn't know what they looked like.
Well, and
See,
Dudley's
this is
already said
gaslighting.
yeah, and Dudley has already said he would take a drug test. The most he did was
Yep.
smoke pot. That's what he said, and I believe it. I've just you can tell. You can tell. We can see who the meth heads were. I mean, just look at Dudley and his wife. They look like respectable people. And then you look at Don and Candace, and we know they're not, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, they're not. No, they're not at all. I'm sorry, because we have a show coming up and it's called Zero Kids and Counting. Because if you're such salt to the earth, God-fearing people that, well, we're no angels, we make mistakes. How can 8 children have been so neglected, abused, and endangered in your care?
And that's the whole thing about this case, too. This isn't just with Summer. This has been a pattern of Candace for her, basically her life with her kids.
Right.
She has never, every kid she's ever had has gotten taken. And now one of them, it finally escalated into one being gone. That's exactly what's going on here.
It would be a trip if it comes out that they had something to do with Rose too. That would just be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
It's crazy enough that you have 2 people in a family totally vanish and nothing come of it. I mean,
and you
Rose
don't
has
hear
been like
pleading.
over 10 years and Summer almost 7 months. That's unheard of. That's crazy.
And you don't hear them, you don't see them like you see other parents that cause they have news conference talking and pleading like any normal parent would, any innocent parent would be doing. They haven't done any of that. None of them, not grandma, not the mother.
We've talked about that on other lives. We have offered a while back. Don was in chat all the time, and we offered him. Brooks, how many times did we offer him that he could plead for his daughter?
The offer is
Never
still
would.
standing. The offer is still standing on the table for both him and Candace. We'll mute our mics. Actually, just remove ourselves from the studio altogether, and
exactly
plead for your daughter. At least say something.
The grandmother blocked Donna Serafina. She asked if she could help, and she blocked her. Wouldn't even discuss it with her because they want to plead their faith doesn't believe it, but yet they drink and drug. I'm sure the faith doesn't like that either, but they do that, but they won't talk to Donna.
Right.
They really shouldn't be talking to any YouTubers. They shouldn't be talking to anybody except law enforcement. Hey, I remember this day. I remember a few days prior, I saw something strange. Whatever they come up with. Or here's a thought. I think this never crossed their mind. This could end today and they could just tell the damn truth.
I think I think they'll die on that lie. They're going to stick to it. I think that, and I do think you're right too about the reason they're so cocky, because they know she's not going to be found. They know it. And so they're just, but I feel like TBI is putting it together. I really do. Yeah,
I truly, in my opinion, believe that they're in their minds, Summer cannot be physically found.
Right.
They're way too damn cocky about this.
Right.
Way
Right.
too cocky.
Mm-hmm. I believe you're right.
But I think that they took the notes from her sister and they were like, well, and who was the one who's got the most knowledge of Rose in the house? That'd be
Mhm.
Grandis, because she was there. Grandis left Wisconsin with her daughter missing. Mothers don't do that.
No,
Sorry,
they don't.
mothers
No, they
don't do
sure
that.
don't.
She would still be there looking for her daughter. She would still be
Exactly.
there looking for her daughter. She wouldn't be sitting on Ben Hill Road up in a camper watching
Mhm.
the abuse of 4 grandchildren. Not that she cared
Mhm.
about the 2 that went to the state of Wisconsin that were birthed by Candace. But hey, I kind of think at some point people would kind of change their ways. She did nothing about that. She talked about it later.
Mhm. Right.
Dawn gets drunk. Dawn does coke. Dawn yells at the
Mhm.
kids. Dawn yells at Candace. I mean, she had things to say later. She
Well,
did
like
nothing about it at the time.
well, like Jody Sue said, she said she wasn't out there calling for Summer or looking for Summer with all of them when they, when Jody Sue and all of them were out there looking. Grandmother wasn't anywhere to be seen. She was inside.
Huh.
What grandmother does that? You would be out there searching too. But Jody Sue said she wasn't.
Well, I mean, even if you did just go to the doctor that day for your knee, what kind of pain would a grandparent have to be in to prevent them from looking for their missing granddaughter?
Exactly. It would take more
Yeah.
than a knee.
And what mom would be on social media 20 minutes later? That's what I'd like to.
20
Right.
minutes before.
Or yeah,
the 911
earlier.
call.
Yeah, I meant earlier. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But remember
I
when
think
she
that-
called
I think that
911, she went on a
picture-
walk. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that picture is going to do them in right there. The picture where she took it and then deleted it right there around 6 or
Right.
so on Facebook.
Yep.
TBI knows that. They're putting it together.
Absolutely. But it's going to take a long time because, okay, so we've been doing this show about Summer and other cases. I mean, this one in particular for almost 7 months. So,
Mhm.
and it's one rumor, speculation, theory, accusation, changing of stories, one thing after another. It's one thing after another. If we're all confused on this end and we don't have near the resources that law enforcement does, imagine what they're uncovering on their end.
Oh yeah. Mhm. Oh, and did you hear the other night? I was listening to Skeezy, I think they call him, Benny Keys. Uh, they were talking, and Candace said how Jody Sue, her feet weren't wet. She was holding a wallet. Now, what mother? My daughter is missing, but yet I'm going to notice Jody Sue had shoes on and her feet weren't wet that day.
Yeah.
How?
And I'll
What
say this
mother-
right now.
You
We don't
wouldn't
mention
notice that.
well, and you have a good point. I'll just tell you this right now. And you wouldn't know. You've done nothing wrong. We don't mention other creators on this channel because it causes drama.
Okay.
But since you
okay.
brought that up, and it's an excellent point, because I was thinking about it too when I heard about it. So you can't remember what went on from when you dropped off Hunter to when you called 911.
But you
And
remember what shoes someone was wearing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right on point.
That's crazy. You wouldn't recognize that. I wouldn't be able. I would be so distraught. There's no way I would know if somebody had shoes on or not.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No,
Well,
it ain't. It all stinks. A big fat rat.
Yes,
Every
it
bit of
does.
this stinks.
And how anyone can take up and defend their actions is beyond me.
Oh, me too. So.
Well, I mean, how could she even notice what somebody was holding or wearing?
Yes,
but she can't
exactly.
even give a good description of her daughter. It's like she's very
Exactly.
vague about what she's wearing. She said she's
Mhm.
barefoot. Now,
Mhm.
she said that she went on a walk. 10 minutes later, she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, she said she was doing dishes and Summer walked out the back door.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Then she came up with the planting flowers basement story.
Mm-hmm.
Thing of it is, she's so hyper alert, but yet when she goes on her walk, her little walk that she says she went on, she didn't see anything. Bull crap. I don't buy that either.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to address this comment real quick because I love this comment. Many don't seem to understand that you can 100% support the search for Summer without supporting the parents. I love that comment. I love that comment.
Exactly.
And like Scorpion said, one lie turns to 100 lies. Well, we lost 3 clowns. Does anybody else want to come up and chat with us? If not, we're going to start winding this down because this has been a great live. And I think we put a lot of stuff out there that does not make sense. Does not make sense. Everything from the 50-50 to giving someone 50-50 right off the bat when they already, according to Don, had a bad work record. Don said he didn't like working with him 7 years ago. So why would all of a sudden he split his take-home pay with him? None of it makes sense.
In my opinion, Don actually did a lot of damage by going after Dudley to himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if we're going to wrap this up, I just want to tell everybody thank you for being here. You are truly, truly appreciated. Trust me, you are. And like I say, I just want remember to tell your kids or somebody you love them today.
Do you love Don?
Oh, I do. He's my world. I think I'm going to be his media manager.
If anybody thinks Kevin should be the media manager, put a 1. For
Yeah.
no, put a 2. We did this the other day, and the whole chat blew up with 1s.
Yeah, I want to be their media manager. First, you go out and buy some clown outfits for him to wear. It's just so ridiculous how they are. You know, and we have to say Don because he's the one running this shit show. Yeah, I'm sure his little sidekick Candace, Can't Cry Candace, is sitting there. But thing of it is he's running this, and I think he made a bad mistake about going after Dudley.
Big time.
Big time.
Because this guy's spitting facts, and it's not anything that you can refute because all Don is saying is, again, more things that don't add up and they don't make sense. They don't make sense at all.
Absolutely not. They don't make sense at all. And you know why? Because it's not the truth.
Southern and Sassy said, Brooks, did you all hear what Dawn said last night? Yeah, we've been talking about it throughout the show. What in particular are you talking about? Because we broke it all down. Is there a part we missed? Because we went through all of it, and it was just nuts. And like I said,
Yeah.
you guys are the deciding factor, and it just looks like a setup. A total setup, or try to set up, because your daughter goes missing on the 15th. You fire the guy on the 14th. And instead of doing what most parents would do, just assume she's somewhere around there because you live on a lot of acreage and she more than likely wandered off. You immediately blame Dudley? What sense does that make? What sense does that make?
That's exactly what they tried to do with Hunter. Same thing. The exact same thing.
And then, Don, you make a special trip to Virginia to give him his measly $300, and they were taping you, so you were on your best behavior because you weren't about to question him on what TBI asked him, yet your wife makes a special trip over to Allie and Hunter's because she wants to know what they said. So the two people you were trying to use, you each were on your way to go question to see what they said. Is it making sense now, guys?
Crystal clear to me.
Oh, I know it is you, my friend. I know it is you. Southern Sassy, when he said he talked to Candace when she was at Walgreens 30 minutes before Summer went missing, but Candace was at Walgreens at 1 p.m. Oh, yeah, I did hear that. I didn't even mention that. And I probably should have brought that up because if you're going to tell a lie, everyone better have flashcards and memorize them. You know, like when he wrote on the wall about meth heads so he could remember it. She was not at Walgreens 30 minutes before Summer went missing. That is nuts. Nuts. It would have taken, no. We already know what time she dropped off Hunter, and Hunter was with them when they picked up the medicine. Yeah, it's just, they'll say anything and they forget what they say. They forget what they say, and it's disastrous. They should have never spoke and just let it all fold out, or to do the unthinkable, which is tell the truth. Tell the truth and put this whole nightmare to rest.
The truth will set you free.
And on that note, my friend, we are going to shut the show down. This has been a great chat, great show. I think we discussed a lot of points, a ton of points. And you have to agree, we have the best chat on YouTube. I mean, the comments that I see in chat, some of them like really blow my mind. I'm like, wow. Wow.
And everybody, please just hit the subscribe button once. Yep. That's all.
Hit that sub, get reminded. We like to talk to people between shows. Send an email. The email's on the About tab. We'll get you a link to Discord. We don't just talk about true crime in there. We talk about all kinds of other things. Pets, food, football, you name it. And I think we have 2 shows tomorrow. Yeah. 2 shows
whoopee.
Tomorrow. I know, it's going to be a busy day.
Yep.
But thank you guys for being the best chat on YouTube, being here every morning. We're live every morning at 9 a.m. Please hit that sub button, and we will either see you in Discord this afternoon, or we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.